Hi everyone, how are you doing? Is alright. So we're going to begin with the previews quite early this week. So we're going to be looking at Watford today, having a look at the opposition. Now, as you all know, and when we're looking at the opposition, we'll have a look at the last 6 fixtures. So let's have a look at this. And it's actually promising reading, not if you're a Hornet mind, but Newcastle, if you look at this, you know, the last 6 fixtures, Watford haven't won any, drawn 2, lost 4, only scored 3 goals. Conceded 12, which is an average of 2 per game, and they've only picked up 2 points from the last 6. Obviously, if you're looking at those 6 fixtures, the first thing you're going to look at is our 5-0 hammering of Liverpool away from home. And obviously on Monday night, which was last night, they got beat off Spurs 2-0. But overall, it's probably a good time for us to play Watford. But Watford fans will probably turn around and say, well, actually, it's a good time for us to bounce back against a side who are safe, not really playing for nothing. You know, it is a chance for Watford to bounce back, and they'll probably look at Newcastle. I think this is the perfect opportunity. They're the bit stale at the moment. So, but I think both sides will fancy the chances on Saturday. Now, you know, you talk about Watford. They're currently 13th in the league. You know, they're 3 points behind us, 6 above the relegation line. They're not going to go down. Conceding though, look at that, a whopping 62 goals. That's the 3rd worst in the league. So they do concede a lot of goals, but then again, they do throw bodies forward as well, which maybe Newcastle can capitalise on when we talk about the tune in tomorrow's video. Now, the last fixture, which I've talked about just there, was against Spurs. This is the side that Grazia put out. It was Cornelius in goal. Mariappa played right back. Cathcart and Cabasele were the 2 centre-backs. Holebas was the left-back. And then you had the 2 sitting, which was Capoue and Decore. Firmino, who's predominantly a right-back, played out on the right. Then it was Will Hughes in the middle. Richarlison out wide. And it was Andre Gray up top. Now, when you think of Watford, you think of their key man this season, you probably say Decore, who's impressed. You know, no disrespect for Watford, he'll probably go on, and he could potentially play for one of those top 6 sides. Why not? You know, he's chipped in with 7 goals. He's really impressed this season. Richarlison, I think he's dipped off a little bit. The first half of the season, he was absolutely fantastic. You know, an unknown signing, and he's gone off the boil a little bit in the second half of the season. But you'd always say those two, and maybe Capoue, who, you know, can get forward and score goals. And they do throw bodies forward as well. People might say Troy Deeney, but I think Troy Deeney's had a poor season. He hasn't really been first choice this season. Struggled to score a lot of goals. You know, I know a couple of them have been penalties as well. But even Andre Gray, £18 million, big money, hasn't delivered, has he? But, you know, I would say those 3 players, Decore, Richarlison, Capoue, are the ones you want to watch out for going forward as well. Now, as I touch upon, you know, we know that Watford beat us 3-0 at St James's Park, and Deodri Yedlin for me had his poorest game in a Newcastle shirt. Targeted down, he had an absolute nightmare. Watford coming down that left flank continuously with the likes of Zenegla and you know, Richarlison tormenting poor Yedlin, and it's something that they might look at as well. Maybe you want to see change at Newcastle at right back for this game, because we know that Yedlin has been struggling of late. But you know, since the change, you know, we're seeing Grazia come in, and they haven't really kicked on. Watford's style is they change the manager every year, and they change a lot of the players. I mean, when you say Watford's transfers in, transfers out each year, you're talking double figures for probably ins and out. It's that the change, and it works for them. Fair enough, you know, it does work for them doing all these changes. But if Newcastle were to do that, Rafa Benitez, I just couldn't see that happening. Now, obviously, the manager was obviously the previous manager was obviously linked to Everton. We all know how that went down. He didn't really get the job. Watford didn't like it because there seems to be the tensions were there to jump ship. We know Everton's employed Sam Allardyce, and they brought in Grazia, and he hasn't really kicked Watford on. And to be honest with you, it wouldn't surprise me once more if they change their manager yet again at the end of the season, go completely fresh again. Look, they're safe, but is he the one who's going to take them forward? Grazia, we'll have to see how it goes towards the end of the season, but I don't think it'll be there next season personally. Now, the style, as I've touched upon already, they will throw bodies forward. They will literally chuck it forward. It's their style. You know, it's kind of like, well, we've got we'll rather win 4-3 than win 1-0 kind of style. They'll chuck bodies forward, so Newcastle will have to be wary. You know, I think we will play on the counter. I think we can pick them off. They do leave massive gaps at the back, and I think Newcastle then need to exploit it. In particular, Kennedy, for me, needs to get on the ball. I think he could have a bit of success there. And Ayoze Perez needs to make himself available in that number 10, because I think there will be space in behind those 2 central midfielders, because the chuck bodies forward is something that Newcastle need to be wary of course, but I feel we can pick them off as well. Tomorrow we'll talk about the tune. But let us know what you think of Watford. Watford fans, if you're watching as well, let us know how your season is going. Let us know how the game's going to go down on Saturday. And it's actually going to be nice weather as well. It's meant to be a really hot weekend, Friday, Saturday and Sunday. So we'll be playing in the sunshine just outside of London. Let us know. Cheers. See you. Bye.